Hello and happy Monday. I found some more cool audiobooks to share with you guys. And I wanted to say, first and foremost, happy belated Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Um, I hope you enjoyed your day yesterday. I hope you took time to indulge in some self care, took some time to rejuvenate your mental health. You know, figure out some things that you can do to make your day, which is Mother's Day, all about you. It's a lot going on, and I understand that I believe that this month is Mental Health Awareness Month. So, with that being said, I want to encourage everybody watching this video, whether you are a mother or not, to stay encouraged and keep your head up. Today's theme for Mental Massage Monday is music. So my topic of the day is music. Therefore, the books that I'm talking about or that I'm going to share with you today will have the basic theme for music. Whether it be the title correlates to a song you heard, or the music, the book itself has a lot of music references inside the book, or the book is, these are audiobooks, so some audiobooks actually have music playing in the background. So that's the theme for today, is music. The first book that we're going to get into is titled The Dirty Truth. The author of this book is Brenda Hampton, and the book is narrated by Keith Ben Jr. This is an urban fiction read with an average rating of 3.7 out of 5 stars. So let's check out what's going on inside of this world of drama.
Well, get some rest and call me or Annette if you need anything. I will, and thanks. Annette and Felicity waved goodbye, and I waited around until everyone had left. When I looked at Cassandra's gravesite, I noticed the police officer who had been crying at the funeral. He was watching the gravediggers lower her casket with a pained look on his face. I wanted to know who he was, so I got out of my car and paced myself to where he stood. By the time I reached him, the gusty wind had blown open my long black trench coat, and my black leather shoes were covered with mud from the soggy grass. He turned and looked at me. "Brandon Fletcher," I said, holding out my hand for him to shake. He looked at my hand and then held out his. "I know who you are. I'm Jabbar, a friend of Cassandra's." "Well, how is it that you know me and I've never seen or heard of you before? For the record, Cassandra and I were engaged." I doubt that," he said, "but now isn't the time or place to discuss this. I know you have questions, but I'm not prepared to answer them yet." He spoke sternly and reached into his pocket to give me a card. "Call me in a few days so we can talk." I took the card hesitantly and nodded as Jabbar walked off toward his vehicle. Still, I felt very confused. I looked down at Cassandra's casket, which was already in the ground. I wanted answers, but it wasn't like she could give me the answers I needed. I stayed with her for at least 30 minutes, thinking about the good times we shared. I visualized her pretty smile and chuckled about the way she'd rub her nose against mine and sing to me whenever I was upset. Our dinner the other night was so special, and if I had known it would be our last time together, I would have never teased her about burning the roast. She seemed a bit offended, but I made up for it by sending her roses the next day. Hopefully she'd forgiven me, and as I whispered the words, "I'm sorry," it was as if I heard her voice telling me that everything would be okay. I truly hope so. After I wiped away the tears that had fallen down my face, I gathered myself and headed for home. When I opened the door to my high-rise loft on Washington Avenue, Cassandra's amazing sweet scent hit me. I walked over to the fireplace and picked up a picture of us from the mantel. I held it in my hands and then placed my lips on hers, as if I could really feel them. Then I placed the picture right back where it belonged and would stay forever. I went into the bathroom and stepped into the shower without taking off my black suit. The water poured down on me as I angrily removed my tie. I dropped it on the floor and then ripped my crisp white shirt apart. The buttons popped loose, and as I stared down at them, I tightened my fists, slamming them into the shower wall. When my rage was spent, I took several deep breaths to calm my nerves. I wiped the cold water that dripped from my face and then removed my clothes. My naked body fell against the wall, and I eased my way to the floor. When I finally opened my eyes, I realized I turned the water off, but the drips of cold water still trickled down on me. I tightened the faucet. With thoughts about Cassandra still stirring in my mind, I had no clue what time it was. I dried myself and looked at the alarm clock in my bedroom. It showed 2:15 a.m. Feeling overwhelmed, I plopped down on my bed and smothered my chocolate body in my royal blue satin sheets. I shut my eyes again and prayed for my misery to be over with soon. While lying in the dark, I reached over and felt for Cassandra's warm and smooth, awesomely framed body. I visualized playing with her short, neatly layered hair and thought about making love to her once again. As I reminisced about her thick lips touching mine, the phone rang and startled me. "Hello?" I said softly. "Brandon?" "Yes." "It's Ruby. Why didn't you come by with everyone else? And why haven't you been answering your phone? I've been trying to reach you all night." I fell asleep in the shower and didn't hear the phone. Plus, I wanted to be alone, Ruby. Please don't take it personal. I'm sure you understand. "I do. But remember, no matter what, it's still like family to us. If you need anything, we're here for you, okay?" "I know." There was silence. Then Aunt Ruby said goodbye before hanging up. I hadn't eaten all day, so I went to the kitchen to find something. I made a bologna sandwich and then went into my studio to meditate. My mind was focused on Jabbar. His connection to Cassandra was a complete mystery to me. I still didn't want to believe she could have been having an affair. Her schedule was very busy, and I thought there was no way she could have had time to see another man. Besides, we were so damn happy together. We'd had very few arguments, and if we did, we'd always work through our disagreements.
That sounds very. This book sounds very well narrated and very well written. I like how the narrator, like I said, when narrators are able to implement emotion in their voice as they're narrating a book, it draws you in. So this narrator right here in this book alone makes you want to pick it up and read it, or click play and listen to the audio, the audio version. Guys, I'm right here. I have some new makeup I want to play in. I don't know what I'm doing when it comes to makeup. I'm not a makeup artist, but I do enjoy playing in it and, indulging. I love to paint. I love to see colors. So why not just play in some makeup? So yeah, that book was titled The Dirty Truth by Brenda Hampton. You guys check that book out. I'm going to fetch the next book and we're going to see what's going on in that one. Next up is a book titled In Those Jeans. The author of this book is Chantel Jolie. The book is narrated by Katherine Dollison. We've heard a lot from Katherine Dollison. I've noticed that a lot of the audiobooks that I've played on my channel has Katherine Dollison as a narrator. That must mean that she's pretty good at what she does. And I do have to say that she is pretty good at what she does. She is talented at being a voice actress. So the book has a average rating of 4.4 out of 5 stars. Let's check it out and see what's going on here. What's happening here?
Piece after piece. That's why it shocked me when I finally heard her speak. That'll be $6,442.52, she said in a professional tone. I whipped out my matching Gucci wallet and combed through the many credit cards. I knew which one I needed to use. I was just showing off a bit. After I handed the visa to the woman, it only took a few seconds for her facial expression to change. Her eyebrows twitched and her lips did a funny dance. I need to see some ID. No problem, I snapped with major attitude. She stood back with her hands on her hips, waiting for me to comply. I flipped back open my wallet, making sure she couldn't see inside. I had to find the ID that matched the stolen credit card I'd just given her. My fingers touched the driver's license that read, Chanel Martinez. Oh shit, that's me, I thought to myself. I scrambled even faster, looking for the right ID. Suddenly, I saw it. Cynthia McBride. I handed it to the clerk and smiled. "Are you always so pleasant?" she asked sarcastically. "It is what it is," I shot back and turned my head. As the clerk validated my information, my thoughts wandered off. I thought about the 3 girls I had lined up to buy the clothes scattered across the counter. I had told them I'd meet them around 5 today because I needed the money fast. In all, I would make roughly $3,200 if I charged them half price for the clothes. They loved it when I came around with fancy, hot-off-the-press shit. 3 more stops like this today, and I'd have the rest of the money I needed for my trip. I breathed heavily, thinking back to how I resorted to identity theft again. I was able to give up that lifestyle after meeting Carlos, who catered to my every need. Luckily for me, I kept in touch with my old contacts. So the moment I told my girl Cheryl I needed to get a hold of some high-limit credit cards, she was on it. Cheryl was from Detroit and made millions of dollars running credit card scams and stealing other folks' identities. I remember trying to get close to her to get some extra perks, but she wasn't having it. It was strictly business. Pay her for use of the cards, then lose her contact number after that. My attention was diverted when I heard the static noise of a walkie-talkie behind me. I looked over my shoulder to see what the commotion was all about. Suddenly, it dawned on me that something was up. The woman who was waiting on me wore a grin that said, "Payback." I wondered what she really had on me. Did she know the credit card wasn't legit, or did she find out the license was fake? "Miss, we need you to come with us," a tall, slender gentleman said to me, standing about 2 yards to my left. He was dressed in casual attire, with a pair of tan khakis that drooped to the floor. I wasn't exactly sure who he was, but I wasn't going anywhere with his ass. I looked at him intently before speaking and noticed his high-top fro. "No, the hell I'm not," I barked. "I'm just waiting on my bags." I turned and looked at the woman like everything was okay. I stood firmly like I was calling the shots. "Can you finish bagging my stuff? Because I gotta go." The woman crossed her hands and leaned back on the counter with another smirk on her face. I knew I had to make a move. I peeked over my shoulder once again to figure out my options. 2 guys stood outside the perimeter of the department I was in. Another stood close to the entrance to the mall. The only man close enough to be a problem was this guy looking at me with the high-top fro. But luckily, he was a slender brother and could be handled. I was 5'9" and equipped to rumble if necessary. I've been lifting weights, keeping my body toned, so my money was on me. I turned one last time, ready to leave my investment on the counter. With a quick 2-step in the direction of the front door, I barged through what was headed my way. Someone yelled into the walkie-talkie, "Suspect is on the move." That's when I knew it would be all over me. For a second, I contemplated stuffing a few shirts in my purse. Hell, I was already in trouble. In record time, I dashed past a few racks, knocking down several pieces.
Okay, all right. Homegirl is a scam artist. Homegirl up in there doing 5-finger discounts and everything else, honey. She taking identities, and I'm just doing the most. This is one of those people that you just have to be careful because they'll become your friend just to get close enough to you to steal your identity. So, yes, honey. Yeah, she needs to go. She needs to go and see. Somebody done set it up for payback. That's what happened when you live in that grimy life. When you live that grimy life, oh yeah, honey, karma come back. She might not be there today. She might not even be there tomorrow. But honey, karma coming, honey. Karma is coming. Now, Catherine Dollison, as we can see, is a good narrator. She knows how to. She knows how to deliver the books that she's narrating in a manner that makes you want to keep listening to it and possibly buy more books from the author who actually wrote the book. So you guys check it out. That book is again titled In Those Jeans, And I'm going to go ahead and wrap the last book. We're only going to do 3 books today because I have some other things that I want to get done, some other content that I want to make, and I want to get ready for my hot topic and talk to you guys about how music really does manipulate us. I want to talk to you guys today about how music controls us in a good way and sometimes in a bad way. So with that being said, I'm going to grab the next book. Just hold tight. So this is my first time using primer for my eyeshadow. Like I said, I'm experimenting with makeup. It appears as though I have my eyelashes on incorrectly, but it's okay. It's all right. I'm still having fun. I'm still loving it. I can't wait to see how this is going to look once I put the color on top. And just play with my eyes a little bit, just to accentuate my eyes. Nothing much, just a little bit of art, just a little bit of craft. So right now we're going to get into a book titled Shot Through the Heart. This book is the author of this book is Miss Bam. The book is narrated by Misty Rain, and the book has an average rating of 4.9 out of 5 stars. So we're going to go ahead and check this book out, and we're going to see what's happening in this book. And I want you guys to grab your either your ebook version, your paperback, or the audio version of these books that I'm playing. The links will be in the comment section below. Again, the theme for this week, Mental Massage Monday, is music. So all the books that I'm featuring on my channel today that I'm talking to you guys about will have music implemented in there some way. We just played In Those Jeans, which we can see that there's a song title In Those Jeans. So that's how it's correlated with the theme for the day, which is music. So we're going to get right into it. Shot Through the Heart by Miss Bam. Let's see what kind of work she got out here.
At your place, I got shit to do. Paige sat up straight in the bed, suddenly wide awake, not a trace of sleep in her voice. I knew her behind was awake the whole time. Why do I always have to go to my place to sleep, Jeremiah? I mean, damn. What's the problem with me staying here? I mean, we've been together 4 months now. Besides, I thought I'd make you breakfast before I went home. At least let me do that, she complained, arms in the air, stretching as if she showed off her bare breasts. Paige didn't have much to show, but her big ass made up for it. You have to sleep at your place because that's your home. Don't you pay rent for that privilege of sleeping in that motherfucker? Look, I'm on a plane out of here this afternoon. I have a lot I need to take care of today before I leave. And another thing, Paige, please stop saying we're together. We've gotten together every once in a while over the course of 4 months. We ain't been together. Stop twisting the facts, Ma. You're gonna end up hurting your own feelings. Well, when are you gonna tell me you were leaving town? Are you taking me with you? I took a deep sigh, trying to compose myself before I really hurt this girl's feelings. I took notice of the fact Paige conveniently left out the most important thing I'd said. The last thing I wanted was hurt feelings in an argument before I headed out of town. But Paige and I had been bumping heads about this issue heavily for the last 2 months. I wasn't interested in a relationship with her or anyone else at the moment. I tried the whole relationship thing once after Mia and I broke up, but I realized my head and my heart weren't ready for that. At this point, I was all about business. I wanted to build an empire for myself, and as far as women went, it was all about getting my needs met. Paige was a prime example to me that the whole casual dating thing didn't work. Yeah, I'd taken her out on some dates, chilled with her a little, but she took that to mean we were in a relationship of some sort. I wasn't out here leading women on or no shit like that, but I felt like I was very clear about my intentions. Paige played the role like she understood, but she's still over here acting like a bandit trying to creep into my heart. Twice, I'd cut her ass off completely. We went a week or 2 without talking, but always found ourselves back in bed together. Shit, your ass is lucky, I'm telling you right now. And even that's only because you just happened to be here. Go ahead and get up and get out of here, Ma. Like I said, I have some things to wind up today before I head out. Well, at least tell me how long you'll be gone. Why do you treat me like this, Jeremiah? You act like I'm the enemy or something. I'm so good to you, and you act like it means nothing. Am I nothing to you? Paige asked. When I looked at her,
She had the nerve to have a tear falling down her cheek, but I was not falling for that shit. See, this is the reason I kept saying we don't need to sleep with each other. Well, why do you keep doing it? Why play with me when you know how I feel about you? Why do you keep calling me when you know I don't care about you is the bigger question. I keep doing it because the pussy is good and you keep throwing it at me, even when I tell you straight up, I'm not gonna be your man. Paige, look, I'm not trying to be cruel. I'm straight up about what this is and isn't, but take responsibility for your own emotions. I ain't the keeper of your heart. I don't want the job, and I keep telling your ass that shit. Paige pulled her knees to her chest, gazing at me forlornly. Well, can I ask how long you'll be gone? At least let me know that. I'll be gone a minute, Paige. About a month. Let's not get into this, okay? I'm kind of tired of going over the same old thing with you. You're a good girl. Find someone that wants the same things you do. I'm not there yet. I know you've been waiting on me, but it's just not happening for me right now. What? A month? What am I doing wrong, though? I fuck you good. I cook for you. At least I do what you let me in long enough to do it. I don't care what you cook. You ain't the first female to fuck me good and make me a nice hot meal, I yelled, interrupting her. A nigga was just trying to keep his composure, but damn. When the writing is on the wall, read that shit. Jeremiah, at the very least, we're friends. Look, I need some help right now. I stopped dead in my tracks. Lips turned down into a frown. My eyes rolled to the back of my head before I slammed my dresser drawer shut and turned around to face her, my arms folded across my chest. Damn, all I want to do is grab some socks, not all this extra conversation. What do you need from me? I asked cautiously. Well, you know I've been telling you I've been having problems with my roommates. You think I could stay with you for a while? Just on a temporary basis while I find my own place? I respect what you're saying. I know we're not together. I just need to regroup and get myself together. Besides, you said you'll be gone.
Now listen, I said this before on another show that I did a couple of weeks ago. I feel as though books with characters, where the characters are women, or where the characters are men, I feel like the book should be narrated by that sex. Like, obviously, I forgot the guy's name already, but obviously, this character in this book is a man. So, it's being narrated by a woman. I'm not saying that she didn't do a good job at her narration, that her, you know what I'm saying, that she didn't speak clearly. Everything else was fine. And the book sounds like a really good book. It sounds as though, you know, this lady is going to become obsessed with this man, and he's telling her that I don't want a relationship. You know, that's typical. That happens a lot in life with everyone. That happens, you know. Sometimes we get our feelings involved when we shouldn't. So I can see the storyline unfolding. I can see that it's going to be a good storyline. The girl, the character that's falling in love with this man, she may end up flipping out on him. She may end up following him to wherever he's going. Then she has the audacity to ask, can she move in with him? So the story itself has potential. And I'm pretty sure it's a good read. I'm pretty sure it is. Because she narrated the book really good. My only thing is that I feel as though the man should have been narrated by a male, and not a female. Because it's a male character. I mean, I would think that that's just, you know what I'm saying, that should just go with the territory. If there's a male character speaking, the narrator for that voice should be a female. So that's just my opinion. And like I said, I'm not saying that she's not a good narrator, but that's just how I feel about books that are narrated by the opposite sex when the character is, you know, the books that are narrated by one character, when by one sex, when the character of that book is actually the opposite sex. You know, it kind of leaves me stumped, because I'm like, I want to hear a male's voice. Because I was looking and I was waiting to see. I'm like, okay, maybe this is a lesbian relationship. I'm thinking to myself, it may be a lesbian, two females talking. But then when he said, I'm not the man you want, I'm like, oh no, this is a man. So why is a woman narrating the book? I mean, but that's neither here nor there. The book itself, you know, many people may not care about who narrates the book. There might be some people that, you know, all they care about is the words. So, the actual voice may not mean anything to them. But for me, personally, my opinion is that I'd rather hear a male narrate for a male, and I'd rather hear a female narrate for a female when it comes to these audiobooks. And so, guys, like I said, I'm playing the makeup. This is my final look. I'm just going to finish this up with you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Again, I want you guys to grab a copy, your copies of these books. The links will be in the comment section. And someone let me know that sometimes it depends on the device you're watching from. The comment section may be below or to the side. So either way, wherever the comment section is on your device from where you're watching, the links to the books will be in the comment section. So you can grab your copy, check it out, and come back maybe and talk about how you feel. Talk about how the book turned out. Did you like it? Did it all add up? Will you be reading from the author of the book again? So again, happy Monday. This is my finished look. I didn't do much, guys. I didn't do too much because, like I said, I need way more practice with makeup than what I'm doing. In fact, I need to put a little bit of eyeshadow on my lips to bring out the color that I'm trying to achieve. Put a little bit of eyeshadow here on my lips. I follow several people on both TikTok and YouTube, and one or two on Instagram. They do this. They put a little bit of eyeshadow on their lips to bring out the color that they may not have. And I also saw one putting eyeshadow on their face because they could not find the perfect color for what they wanted to, the look they wanted to convey. Now, I want to be honest. I'm not in love with this look. I'm not in love with it because I was playing around with it. You see, my eyeshadow was kind of there but not there, but it works. I mean, I like it. I'm not in love with it, but I like it. I want to take this time to thank you guys for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Check out some of the books that I displayed today, that I shared with you today. Most of the books have most of the authors have the books available in both audio format, ebook format, and paperback. So if you prefer paperback, grab that copy. If you prefer the ebook, grab that copy. Normally the ebook versions are the cheaper ones. So if you're just looking to read, to get into something that you want to just read and check out, grab the ebook copy. If you want to listen to something while you're working out, while you're cooking, or just kick back and just listen to something, grab the audio copy. Or if you want to sit there and flip through pages because you like to feel the pages, the book in your hand, you like to have the physical hard copy of that book in your hand, then you've got the paperback copy. But whatever you do, check these books out. Give these authors a chance. Give yourself a chance. Enjoy the rest of your day. And be and I want to encourage you guys to give yourselves praise as much as possible. I want you guys to take time to acknowledge what's good about you, because I'm pretty sure that there's a lot of good going on with each and every person that's tuning in to my channel today. I'm pretty sure that you have a lot of amazing things. My eyelash keeps popping up. I want you guys to focus on the good things that you have going on. And of course, there are other things that are not so good that's happening in the world. That's with everybody, especially at this time. People are suffering with depression and loneliness and isolation. And many people were already going through this before the virus came along. And then the virus came along and made it even worse. So I wanted you guys to try to find something that you can do to eliminate or cope with that. For me, I pick up books and I read books. Not only do I read books, but I write books. And I have a good time, like, making up stories. Most of the stories I actually will have to say that I write are not actually made up in a sense, because I like to write from true life experiences. So the details may be a little all over the place, and I might not go into I might switch up character names, and I might add a little extra dramatic effects to the story. But I like to really write about real life situations, because I want people to read the books and learn from them. I like to plant seeds where people may have been, not mindful of certain situations, but I try to write books that a person will read their book and something might pop into their brain that they weren't thinking about. And so, that's my goal, is to tell stories and teach lessons through my writing. So I want you guys to, if you're watching this and you're suffering with depression, you're suffering with mental illness, especially in this time, whether or not this coronavirus contributed to it or not, try to find 5 things, or at least 3 things. I won't say 5. I will say try to find 3 things that you can do to cope with that. Like, so for me, is reading, writing, and music. I do other things, but those are 3 of the main things that I like to do. I like to read and write, and then I like to play my music. And when I play my music, I like to dance. Not only is dancing a good way to alleviate stress, it's a good way to get in shape and burn calories. And so, in addition to that, I gotta put some more glue on this, or what? I also like to paint. I've been finding myself painting a lot lately. And my face is one of my favorite canvases for painting, my face. So I'll get my makeup kit and I just practice, and I just go to work and I just play around. It's nothing serious. Like, I don't wear makeup out in public. Anybody who knows me knows that I like my natural face without it. But seeing the colors, like, it's the art in it for me. It's the this eyelash. It's about to get ripped off because it doesn't want to stay in place. You see it. Look at that. You see it. So I'll have to add some more glue right there. But anyhow, yeah, so you guys, take care of your mental health. Someone who I know said something that I really liked. She said, mental health is mental wealth. And that was something that stuck to me because, if you don't have health, you can have all the money in the world, but if your health is not up to par, if you're not happy inside, it doesn't matter how much money you have or how much money you don't have, you'll find that you're always sinking back into that depressive state. So I want you guys to make deposits into your mental health. Take time and indulge in self-care. Practice positive affirmations as much as you can every day. Here's one for you right here. I am enough. Read that out loud. Say it to yourself so much that you convince yourself and that you start seeing the good in you. Okay? There is a lot of good in you. I know there is. Because first of all, you're alive, kicking and breathing. Second of all, you're here with me. You're here with me. There's a lot of good in both of us. And I want you guys to take time today to embrace the good in you, okay? I'm not saying overlook the not so good, because we all know we all have imperfections and flaws. So wherever you feel the need to improve it. But don't be too hard on yourself in the process of doing that. Everything is a process. So when you make your self-improvements, make those self-improvements with the idea that it's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take a while. But with effort and time, you will get better. Thank you guys for tuning in. This has been your girl, Queen I'm Unique, aka Anita Tequila. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and check out a couple of more videos. Until next time, peace.